When are the pundits going to wake up? What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Daily Update. And here we are again, and it is about 2 o'clock Eastern. You probably won't get this till after the close, but in the meantime, if you do get it ahead of time, you can catch me on Fox Business with Liz Clayman at 3:50. In the meantime, market's under heavy pressure. Is I guess the old Apple day. It keeps the doctor away. It's not so good right now. As Apple is getting turned into applesauce, down about 10% today and down about 38% from October. I think it's probably a buying opportunity, to be quite frank here, with Apple. Again, I'm not saying it won't go lower. I mean, I did buy some today. I did hedge it. So again, I don't have much risk to the downside either way. But I think this is probably, each and every stock will find its low long before the market's actually at the bottom. And of course, the pundits continue to pump up how good things are and how good the ADP jobs number was today, yet the markets are still going lower. What does that tell you? Again, one thing we have to remember is that the markets are always right, not the pundits, not me. Okay, I can give you the best idea based on the footprint that the markets leave. I'm not going to rah-rah the markets higher. I'm not going to tell you that they're going lower. I'm going to give you what I think and what my opinion is. And my opinion now is we continue to go lower. I think there's still another 10 to 20% to the downside before we even sniff a real bid or a real rally. As long as this volatility continues to churn back and forth, that indicates the markets are going to go lower. Okay. Now, again, we can only use the highest probability of things that we can see, knowing that we have an exit. Now, unfortunately, we had to puke out our bonds today that we've been short and took a little bit of a hit on them. But again, that's part of trading. That's part of the business. We did the same thing on oil. And we will be looking for another entry because I haven't changed my overall opinion about the bond market. I think they're going significantly lower. However, one thing about this business is you got to make sure that you're in business before doing anything else. So we'll look for another entry, take our losses and move on. That is the whole key to remember in trading and investing. Take your losses, move on, next trade. Next man up, as they say in sports. In the meantime, we're seeing, a market that is kind of stuck between down 600 and down 300. Now, it certainly looks and feels like there could be some sort of a rally today. And I do not believe it will be of the same veracity as we saw last Thursday when we were down 600 and ended up on the day. But if they cut the losses in half, it would not surprise me. If we broke down, it wouldn't surprise me. But they've taken a number of legs down trying to break them, and we have not broken down. So you continue to see bonds going higher, okay, which is another sign, kind of like the VIX. It's a fear gauge when people are buying and pouring into treasury bonds. And remember, they're pouring into 30-year bonds at 2.8%. They're pouring into 10 years at 2.5%. We were just 3.5% a month ago. So again, that is an indication that there's a lot of fear out there. Gold is on its trek up to 1,300. Here you go. Again, we've been buying gold since 1180, and of course, it's still going higher. I would think that you'll probably see a little bit of pullback or some kind of consolidation around here before we continue to break out. Grains found their support levels, as we said, and bounced higher. Okay. Again, oil is kind of churning back and forth, which means to me that we're still going lower. It looks like we're going to hit the high 30s, 38, 39 before it's all said and done. We're short oil and we'll continue to stay there. I don't see any reason to take it out and get out here. Again, I see opportunities, but I think the big opportunities as a trader. Now remember, there's a difference between trading and investing. The big opportunities for traders are to the downside right now. Look for opportunities to sell into those rallies because I think that's what we're seeing. We've got grains moving higher, taking some of that equity money as we've been talking about as our thesis. Meats look fine. They're pulling back a little bit, which is great, I think, because I think you want to look to be a buyer of cattle around 122, 123, and around feeder cattle somewhere around 145. I look for everything else to continue on its way as we've been looking for. I do expect the rates to break. Now, tomorrow morning, we got the jobs number. ADP's jobs was 280,000 today. Tomorrow's expectation is about 180. So again, if it's a big number, does the Fed come in and raise rates? And one of the big questions I have for you is, why do we care what the Fed does? Why can't free markets and price discovery price the interest rate market, okay? And why are the pundits so concerned about what the Fed does? Again, because everybody wants that free money in that ridiculous non-free market. You can only kick the can down the road so far before it has to bite you in the ass. And this is what I think we're seeing now. This is from all of the pushing and kicking the can down the road, which is why we're starting to see markets under heavy pressure, even though the economy is not as bad a shape as now the markets are. But again, remember, the markets are a forward-thinking indicator. And the last question I have is, where's the outrage for the HFT trading? Again, it's always on the downside. Nobody cares when the markets go up 1,000. There's no outrage. The high-frequency traders that you hear talking on air are full of crap, and they're talking nonsense, and a business that they're trying to sell to help you try to benefit, when the bottom line is high-frequency trading does nothing more than push the markets as market makers does, and that's really the way it is. And that's it for today's Bubba's Daily Update. Look for the markets. Again, it's a great day to observe. I don't think there's a lot to do from here. We should churn back and forth. We could break out one way or the other, but I'd sit and just assume wait until we see what the jobs number look like. Have a great day, everybody. Remember, our high school investing program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. We'll see you over the weekend with Bubba's Bottom Line. Have a great trading, everybody. We'll see you back here over the weekend. Take care.